Welcome back to another episode of Think About It. I'm Kristie Cerling, the Dean for the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. Today I'm here with Dr. Katie Alaniz. Katie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Katie Alaniz. I have the pleasure of serving as the director of the Center for Learning Innovations and Teaching Excellence, otherwise known as C-Lite, here at HCU. I'm also a faculty member in the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences, School of Education, and I'm the program coordinator for the Master of Science in Learning Technology and Design.
So you talk about innovations, and the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences is pretty innovative. Talk about some of the innovations that you know of going on in COEBS.
Absolutely. We have consistent opportunities for innovation within College of Education and Behavioral Sciences, and one big opportunity that I'd love to highlight is the upcoming Dr. Dawn K. Wilson Teaching, Learning, and Research Symposium, which will take place on Saturday, November 5th, from 8 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. And this actually was an event that was originally brought to life by our very own Dr. Dawn Wilson. She was a faculty member within COEBS for many years, and she had a heart for providing teachers, future teachers, researchers, anyone interested in teaching and learning with opportunities for professional development. And so she founded this symposium many years ago, and this symposium continues on in honor of her legacy. She fought a very brave battle with cancer, and she went to be with Jesus on September 9th, 2019, and after that happened, I knew that it was very important for our university to carry on this tradition, and so every year we host a symposium in her honor. This year we have so many amazing presenters from across the HCU community, as well as from beyond the HCU community. Basically, anyone interested in teaching, learning, and research is welcome to attend. The cost of registration is only $30, $15 for our HCU students, and we have a wonderful keynote speaker this year. His name is Mattress Mack, otherwise known as Jim McInvale in the Houston area, and he is somewhat of a Houston area celebrity. He's a very dynamic and engaging keynote speaker, and so we're looking forward to his presence here on the HCU campus on November 5th.
Great, thank you. So every year in the fall, this is something that teachers, leaders, and researchers can look forward to being a part of, something that was founded in the COEBS by Dawn K. Wilson, and so something that we're able to look forward to. Some other innovations, think about psychology and some of the interesting classes that are happening there. Can you speak to some of those?
Yes, I would be delighted to do that. We actually just had a seminar that took place this week on the psychology of pets, but we'll have the same opportunity taking place in the form of a course called Psychology of Pets in the spring semester. We've also had psychology of toys and many other innovative opportunities for our students here at HCU in the Department of Psychology.
So this is something that I really appreciate about our Department of Psychology, but really we find this in education, we find this in counseling. When you're a student here at HCU, it's not really just about the everyday things that you can find at any university, but it's finding unique ways to get the content that you need in ways that are going to be delivered that are unique, that are going to be delivered to unique special students, that are going to be able to be found across the United States in ways that are going to be authentic and valuable. In fact, I know authentic assessment is something that's near and dear to your heart.
Yes, it
You
is.
have a book coming out soon related to this topic. Talk a little bit about authentic assessment and what that means and what that looks like in content areas.
Thank you for asking about authentic assessment. I am very, very passionate about this subject, and my passion for the subject of authentic assessment or meaningful assessment that applies to everyday life began when I was a student in the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. I was actually an MED student in curriculum and instruction with an emphasis in instructional technology. That program was led by Dr. Dawn Wilson, and she taught me a lot about authentic assessment and the power of authentic assessment to tie learning opportunities to everyday life. And in fact, everything we created in the program revolved around what we were actually doing within our professional experiences. And so as a second grade teacher at the time, I was able to design meaningful learning experiences that applied directly to what I was doing in the second grade classroom. After Dr. Wilson's passing, I decided that it was so important that we have a program that would appeal to instructional designers within a digital age, especially as we are entering the pandemic, and so wanted to start the Master of Science in Learning, Technology, and Design program in her honor. And that program is filled with authentic assessment opportunities. In fact, there are no tests, there are no quizzes within the program. It's a one-year program, 30 course hours, credit hours, and it has only authentic assessment opportunities that apply directly to our students' professional experiences. And so they end the program having a portfolio that they can utilize within their professional lives in a myriad of ways. And in that way, it's been such a powerful program for our students. We also have a literacy lab within the School of Education that is a beautiful classroom. It looks, in fact, identical to what you would find within an elementary school, an actual elementary classroom. And we had some very innovative faculty members who decided that that would be a priority for COEBS. And so that classroom allows our pre-service teachers, our in-service teachers to walk into this beautiful space and learn while engaging with a real life classroom experience. And so that's been a very powerful distinguishing feature for COEBS.
Whenever I think about authentic assessment, I also think about internships and I think about field work or practicums. One thing I appreciate about COEBS is that opportunity to get out in the field right away. I know at a lot of universities you don't get out right away into the classroom if you're going to be an educator, for example. But in our college, that first semester that you're in an education classroom, you actually get out into a K-12 classroom first class, which is so exciting because you start to figure out what type of classroom you're interested in, where you think you might want to be as a teacher. Additionally, we also see that in our counseling programs, we see that in our psychology programs, in our licensed school specialists for psychology classes, for example. They're using test kits and they're practicing assessments right away. Right. We see that in our counseling program. What's very exciting with our Gideon Institute counseling, we have the opportunity for counseling candidates to go right over to our counseling center, and they're able to do field work and practicum in our counseling center here on campus and get Christ-centered counseling practice working with community members as they grow in their field. How exciting is that they're able to get that authentic experience? I was speaking with somebody recently who interviewed one of our candidates, and the person was able to get a job, and as I was sitting with the person who got the job and the person who interviewed them, they talked about that portfolio that came through and talked about how they stood head and shoulders above other candidates because of how that portfolio showed how much they had learned throughout their program, and what a great opportunity that was for them to see how much that candidate learned throughout their time that they were at HCU.
Yes, it's so exciting. Honestly, our students walk away with so many real world skills that are applicable for their future professional endeavors. And portfolios are an amazing way in which to showcase their artifacts of learning. In fact, I often encourage my students to include a link to their portfolio within the signature of their email, to include a QR code that links to their portfolio on their resume so that others can see what they're capable of creating. And creation is such a key word for our students. We want them to move from being consumers of information to creators of new learning experiences. And this is something that truly sets COEBS apart. Speaking of the Gideon Counseling Center, I love the fact that they are so involved with student life across campus. And in fact, they're hosting a series of talks called Let's Talk About It. And they're focusing on areas of need for today's students. And so their upcoming talk in October will focus upon depression, how to deal with depression, and they'll have other issues that they discuss through this series that are near and dear to the hearts of our students. And I appreciate the fact that they, as the entire COEBS community does, see students not just as numbers, but as individuals created in the image of God, as not just beings who are capable of excellent academic work, but beings who are capable of impacting the world in such incredible ways for Christ. And so that has been a really exciting development within COEBS.
Thank you for sharing that. So we have the talks going on with our Gideon Counseling Center, and then we also have some other seminars that are happening with our psychology program. We even have someone offering something, I just can't get over it, and talking about a seminar on emotion and our faith. What do we do when burdens feel heavy? and where do we go in scripture, and when do we know to seek out for help. And so looking at some of the mental health needs across the United States and looking at our faith and where do those intersect. And so looking at how the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences here at HCU sees each individual student and how we're able to go to our faith and we're able to look at Christ-centered counseling and being able to look at Christ-centered psychology and meet students' needs. What a special place to be.
Absolutely. It's the best. It is, oh, go ahead. Such an honor and a blessing to serve within the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. I can say that from the perspective of a faculty member, as well as the perspective of a student, there is no other learning opportunity that can compare to the learning opportunities found within the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. And so much of that is because our faculty members see students as individuals and care deeply about them, care for them through a Christ-centered perspective, and that makes all the difference.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about education and talk about, right now we certainly see a teacher shortage going on. We see opportunities where schools are needing more teachers. And one of the things that I appreciate about COEBS is I see our faculty out in the field, volunteering time, spending time in tutoring. We see opportunities where faculty members are still serving in public schools, private schools, charter schools. Can you talk a little bit about what you know and what you're seeing from our faculty and ways that we even are helping to support and help our area schools with some of the teacher shortage needs?
Yes, absolutely. That's an excellent question. And I would say that our faculty members within COEBS, within the School of Education, are so special in that they have come to a higher education setting not wanting to ever forget what it's like to be a classroom teacher, because in my personal opinion, there's no experience that quite compares to being a classroom teacher, especially in this season that we're entering, in which teachers do experience some difficulty as things are changing quite a bit with digital tools and resources available, and with students' emotional and social needs that are quite different than what we experienced in the past. And I'm so grateful to see that our School of Education faculty members want to be in the schools, want to be volunteering and helping in a myriad of ways. We actually have a special program with Lamar High School, and our College of Education Behavioral Sciences pre-service teachers have visited Lamar High School on a regular basis in order to tutor the students there, and that has made such a big impact for the students at Lamar, as well as for our students within COEBS.
What an exciting opportunity just to make a difference.
Absolutely.
And I know you still serve even working with teachers on a regular basis.
That's
and how
right.
Nice to continue to grow in your skill and to serve in a district.
Absolutely. I personally never want to forget what it's like to be working with teachers, to be supporting them within their classroom settings, because it's such a unique environment with such unique needs. And when I approach teachers and support them with areas of innovation and digital learning, it's always so rewarding to see how impactful that can be for their students. And it's an honor and a blessing to be able to do this.
So our doctoral programs are growing by numbers, and I'm seeing this need for leaders in education and the mental health fields. We've talked about some of the areas of mental health that we're seeing, and we've talked about some of the teacher shortages. And so our programs are growing. We're seeing them growing online. We're seeing our residential programs growing. And I'm thinking about some of our faculty who are serving in those areas. And I wonder if you can speak to any of our faculty and some of their experiences and what they've been able to offer, even in mentoring to you and to some of our students and what you've seen. And you've worked in our doctoral program with some of our candidates and walking them through their dissertations and some of the things that they're doing now out in the field.
Yes, that is an excellent question, and something that is very unique about our doctoral faculty is that these are faculty members who originally served within school settings as teachers and eventually as leaders. They know what it's like to be serving students within today's school settings. They have so many experiences, an absolute wealth of experiences that they bring as they teach courses, as well as while they serve as dissertation chairs. Something that is so special about our doctoral program is the fact that students begin early with their dissertation writing. Their dissertation writing is embedded within their coursework. And so so we have a very, very high percentage of our students graduating within 3 years because the dissertation is not a hindrance for them. They are writing the dissertation alongside their coursework with faculty who are experts in the field leading the way. And this has made such an incredible difference for our students.
I think about some of our faculty, and I think about retired superintendents,
That's right.
I think about assistant superintendents, principals, I think about the number of faculty members who we have, and then the investment they're making in this next generation of leaders. I think about the amount of time, even yesterday I was watching a former principal sitting next to a current principal, walking through dissertation, but also talking about what's happening today in that principal's building and talking about ways to navigate situations and talking about what does the book say about this and how do we navigate that, and just praying with and praying for and offering wisdom. And that's something that you don't get everywhere. And it's another reason why I see COEBS at HCU is a great place to be for a future leader in education or in mental health fields. Something that our faculty can offer that you can't just find anywhere.
I agree wholeheartedly. Our faculty are consistently willing to go above and beyond for our students because they have such a heart for our students. They know that just as Christ came not to be served, but to serve others, they also are here at HCU as a means of serving future educators, future leaders, future professionals within our behavioral sciences fields, and that is so impactful for our students. And I think that that's why we see students who keep in touch with our COEBS faculty members over the years and just keep coming back and wanting to be involved in various ways within the life of COEBS, and that's very, very special. Our COEBS office is always buzzing. We have students coming and going, and as I mentioned, we have students who have long ago graduated and still come back because they want to be part of the fun and the excitement that's taking place within COEBS.
Well, Dr. Alaniz, it is always fun to sit down with you and to hear what's happening in your world, and we just appreciate you making time to be with us today. So thank you. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Think About It. Once again, my name is Kristie Cerling. I ask you to look up COEBS, the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences here at Houston Christian University. Make time to join, be part of this unique environment that sees each individual student, whether in counseling, education, psychology, or some of the other many programs that we have here at HCU.